It's such a simple question for physical media collectors. Blu-ray or 4K? And it's a really simple question with a lot of complex answers, a lot of personal things that go into it. Sure, you can explain away, well, obviously 4K is the best because it has the best fidelity, blah, 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 or whatever. But there's a lot of personal stuff that goes into it. So we'll start off with a story here about my first time getting a Blu-ray. I remember when Blu-ray came out, it was the PS3 had a Blu-ray player in it. Sony was at the forefront because obviously it's their technology. They were at the forefront. They put Blu-ray players in PS3s. I didn't get a PS3 until about, I think, 2009. It was. I had an Xbox 360, so I was with DVDs and all of that good stuff. So I didn't even know what Blu-rays were. I was like, oh yeah, I know it's a bigger storage medium, all that stuff. Basically stuff that like beginner collectors, format enthusiasts get into. And Blu-rays, and then I started getting into them a little bit more, but I didn't have a very extensive Blu-ray collection for a while. I had a lot of DVDs. I watched a lot of movies on cable. I watched a lot of movies on Netflix when it was good for actually watching movies. And then I started collecting Blu-rays. And then 4K came out. And 4K, when it came out, I was just kind of dumbfounded because it was like, what could be better than a Blu-ray? What could be better than 1080p? 1080p is the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life, right? I'm sure a lot of you out there also thought that. And then 4K came out and it was kind of like, oh, it's 4K. What is it? 4 times better, 4,000 times better. All that stuff, all the stupid jokes that you can get. And I really got into the mindset of like, well, I don't really need 4Ks because it's not that big of an upgrade, right? Well, in certain cases it is. In specific older movies especially, 4Ks look exceptional compared to Blu-rays. But what is the good thing about Blu-rays? What is the better thing about Blu-rays that you can get over 4Ks? Well, here's a couple of things. One, the biggest one, we'll get it out of the way. It's price. The price of a Blu-ray is going to be cheaper than a 4K every single time, unless, of course, it's this random copy of Heat where when it came out, it was like $8, and I bought the Blu-ray for $15 like a year before. That's one of the only situations that you'll run into where the 4K will be cheaper. Most of the time, the Blu-ray will be the cheaper option. And even then, in Blu-rays, you can get into sort of cheaper options like this Friday the 13th set here. It comes with 8 movies. You can get this for like dirt cheap, or you can get the Scream Factory box set here for more expensive, but that's Blu-ray. 4Ks, they can also, they have better picture quality, they have better sound quality, you can get Dolby Vision, you can get Dolby Atmos. That is a big reason why someone would want 4Ks. And now for somebody who is not a visual fidelity hound, someone who doesn't care really, you might just be better off with Blu-rays. But there are situations, like with certain boutique labels like Vinegar Syndrome or Arrow or Scream Factory, or even within like studio labels like Paramount Presents, that you can only get stuff on Blu-ray. You can't even get it on 4K. One, because a 4K transfer, a 4K scan, all of that is really expensive. It's really, really cost prohibitive for these studios or these boutique labels to do. So they only do it for movies where they either can do it really cheaply, they can do it for where they know they're going to be able to sell it, or whatever. Otherwise, you get a 2K scan, and that's what you get, and that looks really nice and all that, but you don't end up with a 4K scan. So that's a point for Blu-rays where you're just going to end up with more movies on Blu-ray at one point over 4K. 4K, I've compared it to like vinyl versus a CD. You know, you can listen to a CD and you can get really nice quality audio, or you can listen to a vinyl and you can get like deep into the audio of that song that you're listening to with the crackling and all of that. It's a collector experience. It's a more advanced collector experience, even more so than CD versus vinyl, because CDs are like $15 or whatever. Vinyls can get up to 40 depending on what you're buying. But you know, you can buy this Friday the 13th set for nothing. You can get this really cheaply. You can get this used. You know, if you want this, I'll give it to you for all I care. But, you know, the 4Ks, which they haven't done for Friday the 13th, but they have done for Halloween, like these ones from Scream Factory, which, like this one right here, they have done 4Ks of these. And these are more expensive. They contain the same special features, and in some cases they have more special features, which is nice, always nice to see. And then eventually you do get the Blu-rays. So that is sort of a point for each side, because A lot of the time with 4Ks, you are getting the Blu-ray included. So if something comes out on 4K and it's out of print on Blu-ray, if you don't give a crap about the 4K, you can just buy it and then watch the Blu-ray. The 4K can sit there. You can sell it as a loose disc, whatever you want to do. So there's points for both sides here. And so the detriment for either side, which is a benefit for Blu-ray, would be for 4K, is that the cost. It is costly. It is costly to continually collect these 4Ks, to continually add them to your collection, to get them. Now, I know there's times like Prime Day and Black Friday and all of that where 4Ks are dirt cheap. But new 4Ks, especially boutique label ones, they do run on the pricier side. Vinegar Syndrome stuff like the Roadhouse set that they did, which is beautiful, one of my favorite box sets of all time. This was not a cheap box set even when it came out. It's way more expensive now. It's like $200 for this or whatever if you want to get it. But this was not cheap to get. For the average collector that just wants to watch Roadhouse and doesn't want a booklet, doesn't want a nice box, doesn't want all the special features, you can get a standard edition of Roadhouse for nothing. And it's just like, that's the reason why 4K I don't think is picked up. And also, 4K seems to not have as good of messaging. When Blu-ray came out, it was like, bam, it is that much better than DVD. 480p to 1080p. That is a huge jump. And the jump between 1080p and 4K, while if you're looking at side-by-sides and you're looking at it on your screen, especially with video games, it does look noticeably different, especially if you're looking with older movies too. But the difference between that, Blu-ray and 4K, and DVD and Blu-ray, it's not as big. And so I think that's a big problem that people have, where they look at it and they go, is it really worth it? Because obviously getting the 4K is going to be the best picture quality you can possibly get. It's going to be hard to do better than that. 8K is not coming, folks. There might be 8K TVs or whatever, but you're not going to get an 8K disc anytime soon. 4K is still the best possible that we can do, and it's going to be the best possible that we can do for the foreseeable future. So you might look at this and go, well, you know, I could save $5 on the Blu-ray. I might like visual fidelity and all of that, but I could save $5 and get the Blu-ray. I might as well do that. That is what a lot of people are doing. That's why you're seeing DVD stick around so much as well, because it's just cheaper. It's just more cost-effective for the average consumer. Now, for people like me, for people like you that are watching this video, most likely, that love physical media, that love special features, that love having the best possible movie theater experience you can have in your home, you need to have 4K. For that reason, I'm not going to declare a winner here, because it is a personal thing. It is something where it's like, okay, well, I like 4K, they're nice looking, but I'm not going to collect a million of them. That's kind of my rationale here. If the 4K is available and it's not super outrageously expensive, I'm going to get the 4K. But for other people, it might just be like, I'm okay with the Blu-ray. And so that's what it's all about. So what is it like for you? What is it like for you watching this video? Do you like Blu-rays or do you like 4Ks? What's your favorite sort of format? And if you like both, you like both. Let me know in the comments. And if you like this video and you want more about collecting tips, more about physical media, check out this video right here. It'll help you save money so you can afford more Blu-rays and 4Ks.